In this lesson, we're going to be going over how to install Unity for the first time. Now, you want to go to the Unity website, which is unity3d.com. And from there, you may see something like this, and you can click on Get Unity. Now, if you don't see something like this, you can also go to Products, and you can follow links to get the Unity version that you want to download. So I'm going to click on Get Unity. And here you can set up a subscription plan if you want to use the Plus or the Pro subscription for Unity. In this case, I'm just going to go with the Personal Edition. So we'll click on Try Personal. And from here, we're going to get a link to a download installer. So we're going to be installing a download installer, which will then download and install Unity for us. So click on Download Installer, then open it up. Alright, so I have the Download Assistant already opened up. I'm going to be installing the Mac version of Unity, but the process is going to be very similar for PC and Linux. So I'm just going to double click to open this up. And from here, we're just going to click Continue a few times. Now, I want to start off the process because of this section right here, which is the Unity component selection. So you want to have all the defaults selected, which is going to be the editor itself. We have the documentation, which is going to be very important for finding out specific things about Unity. We have the standard assets, which you want to have installed because it's going to allow us to quickly import a package. It may have things like prototyping, scripts, characters, all sorts of different types of controllers, things of that sort. Then down below that, we have all sorts of build support sections here. Now, this is going to allow us to build for different platforms. So you can see by default, we have Android build support, iOS build support, WebGL, Windows, and in my case, since I'm installing this on a Mac, I also have Mac built in by default. Now, if you don't suspect that you're going to be building for any of these platforms, make sure that you uncheck those. It's going to save space on your computer, and it will make this process a little bit quicker. So in this case, if you don't want to build for Android, you can see right now that the install size is 395 megabytes, which is actually quite large. But if you take a look at the iOS, it's even larger than that. So it's 2.62 gigabytes. So once again, if you're not building for these platforms, make sure that you uncheck those. Now, on the other hand, if you do decide to go with the defaults for now, and let's say you want to build for Linux or tvOS a little bit later on, what you could do is open up this installer once again, uncheck everything except for what you want to include, say the tvOS, check that on, and then go through the same process again. What that's going to do is it's going to install that specific module for that specific platform onto your current version of Unity. So I'm just going to go with the default settings, and here I do have Unity installed already. So I'm just going to go with the default settings, make sure that you have everything checked on that you want to build for, and click on Continue. Now, once you have Unity installed, you then want to open it up, and you're going to start off in this menu right here. Now, if you're installing Unity for the very first time, you're probably not going to see anything right here. These are all the different projects I worked on in different versions of Unity. Some of these have been used in the latest version of Unity. As you can see right here, we have 2017. Then we have some older versions in here, like 5.6.1 right here and right here. Now, if we want to upgrade a project from an older version of Unity, all we have to do is open it up, and it's going to upgrade what it needs to upgrade for the latest version of Unity. Let's take a look at some of the other settings in here. So we have projects currently selected. Down below that, we have on disk. So these are all the projects that are currently on my local computer. I can also have projects in the cloud. Now, in order to actually use the cloud services here, you need to have a Unity account. It is free to create one, and you then want to log in using my account up here. So I do have one logged in already, and I do have projects in the cloud. So if I click on this, I do have projects here as well. I can then click on these cloud icons here to start a new local version of that same project. Now going back up to the very top, we have Learn. And these are just going to be tutorials from the Unity website. So we have Rollerball, Space Shooter, so on and so forth. And you can download the project files for that course or that tutorial, and you can follow along with the tutorial on the website itself. And within here, we have resources as well. So here we have a particle pack, which we can then use within our projects. And finally, we have a links section that includes links to different parts of the Unity website. If we click on activity, we don't have any kind of notifications here. So if we did have notifications, this is where they would appear. Let's go back up to projects. Let's create a new project to start off with. So let's click on new at the very top right here. And when we create a new project, we need to set a project name. So I'll just call this Unity Basics. And off to the right here, we have 3D and 2D. So if we're working in a primarily 3D game, we can have 3D checked on. But if we know we're going to be working on a 2D game, we can check on 2D. Now, it doesn't really matter which you pick initially. This just kind of helps speed up the process because some of the settings and some of the views we're going to be using are going to be specific to 2D and 3D, but you can easily change those later on as well. We can click on Add Asset Package. So a lot of these packages are packages that I downloaded off the asset store, or these are packages that are included with Unity. So if you've used them quite a bit, you can then say, I want to include, say, this 2D pack or the 2D pack sprites right here and include them with my project. In this case, I'm not going to be using any kind of asset packages, so I'll leave that alone. We have the location of the project itself. So in my case, I'm saving it underneath Documents, and then Unity Projects. You can also change it by clicking on the three dots here and selecting a new folder. Down below that, we have an organization. Now, like I mentioned before, I am using a Uri account. So right now, I have an organization under that account. So I have Gonzo-san or Xenosmash Games. Now, I don't want to save this in the cloud, so I'm going to enable Uri Analytics. With this checked on, it typically saves a version of this in the cloud as well, and you can use Analytics to kind of test things within your project. In my case, I'm just going to keep this local, so I'll turn this off. And then we'll click on Create Project. We'll give this a few seconds to load and start up. And there we go. In the next lesson, we're going to be going over some common terminology that you might find in Unity.